160,000 kids stay at home every day because they're being bullied at school. 7,000 kids drop out of school every day in America. And the United States of America houses 22% of the prison population of the whole entire world. Imagine right now if we got rid of 50% of the bullying, 50% of all the kids dropping out of school, and 50% of all the inmates within the world. Tonight I'm going to tell you one thing that if we do it, will reduce all of those three things by 50%. And this one thing is, instead of teaching our kids that success is the ultimate thing in life, we teach our kids about significance. Because success is what happens to you. Significance is what happens through you. I want you to imagine a student, 6th grade, learning disabled, and the one day he has to stand up, he has to read in class out loud. He's slow at reading because his comprehension is half the speed as what his reading is, so he just doesn't get the words. They don't make sense to him. He starts reading the first couple words and they come out fine, and he's actually pretty happy. The third, the fourth word, the fifth word, they start slurring together. By the 6th and 7th word, he starts hearing other kids laugh, snicker. They're saying, "You're dumb. You're an idiot." He's being bullied every day because he's a little different than everybody else. He just learns differently. And one of the main reasons he gets through school is because he has amazing teachers that help him, that spend more time with him, and that put him in special ed classes so that he can learn, he can take tests, and he can get through what he needs to get to the next level. Not physically fit whatsoever, this student is one of the slowest kids in the mile run. And in 6th grade, and every grade before then, he's one of the kids that gets picked last for sports. Can you imagine not only one of the kids that gets bullied and teased because he's slow with words, but then he goes out and tries to play sports, and they reject him. He's one of those kids that cares about others. He loves others when others don't love him back. And he works hard at school and at home. Some days he goes home and he cries on his mother's lap because it's too challenging at school. And there was one night where he's trying to type a paper and he can't spell as well as a lot of the other kids. It's very hard for him to keep up. He gets so frustrated and his dad jumps on the computer to help him out. By that point, he's just bawling on his dad's shoulder. This kid was me. I believe that failure is a mindset, success is a mindset, and significance is a lifestyle. Success is what happens to you, and significance is what happens through you. You have the ability to create and invent the possibilities for your life. Everybody is born to be successful and significant, but most people don't live a significant life. 5 years ago, I got on TMZ and I said, "I will come to your school if you're being bullied." I got over 10,000 emails in 8 weeks from 12 different countries. The emails were from kids, parents, and adults. The kids were telling me about how they're being put down, how they're laughed at, teased, bullied. The parents were telling me how their kids were being thrown in trash cans, stuck in lockers, beat up before school or in school. But what surprised me was the adults. These adults were 40, 50, 60, 70 years old. And they said, "I wish you were at my school when I was a kid so that you could protect me." Them knowing that I was an undefeated MMA fighter and I won $1 million Tough Enough on WWE gave them the belief system and the hope that somebody, some hero, some person would get up and stand up for them. That somebody would rise up and protect them so they wouldn't be put down. that they would be built up instead of shoved down. And that's what I did in the last 5 years. We've impacted millions of kids from around the world. Success is what happens to you, and significance is what happens through you. Success is money, power. It's the honors that you get in your life, that you work towards. Every parent, every adult pushes their kids to become successful. They tell their kids, get the best grades. Let's start preschool at 2 years old. Let's get into the best school. Let's learn how to read faster, do the math better, run better, be faster, get into the best college, get the best job. And so many of my friends get into college and get out of life. They get to be 40, 50, 60 years old, and then they look back and they're not fulfilled because all they were going after was success. Celebrities drive around the Ferraris and the big houses when our teachers should be driving the Ferraris and living in the big houses. Athletes give kids false hope because they don't think about the second career and what they're going to do after being an athlete. And most of the athletes show kids partying, show kids all that stuff that they do. But then when a kid rises up, becomes a pro athlete, and falls harder than they've ever imagined because they never saw what was coming after the sports. We need to prepare our kids to be more significant than successful. There's a group of kids that I started mentoring in South Florida at an elementary school, and there was 10 of them. They were in an ESL class, and they were very challenged, very high energy. I work with kids in jails from around the country. I work with some of the richest kids in the country. And the idea is, how do you create more significance, not just with the kids that are in jail or in the neighborhoods, some of them that I go into, but some of the richest kids because they need significance. They're the ones that are going to be employing all the other kids later on. And these kids, I started asking, what do you want to be in your future? What are your careers? What are you going to do? And this one student said, raised his hand, and he said, I'm going to be an NFL player. I said, okay, let's map that out. At 18 years old, you're going to go to college. At 22, you're going to go in the NFL. I go, what is your second career? I don't talk about what's your backup plan or what are you going to do. I want to inspire them. And he said, I'm going to be in the NBA. So I looked at him and I said, what do you want to do? Why do you want to be in the NBA? What do you want to get out of it in the NFL? And he said, well, I want to make money and be famous. I said, okay. And most adults that I've seen, they say, no, that's not the right way to go, but I want to go one level deeper with them. And I said, what do you want to do, or what would you do with the money that you make? And he said, I'd buy my mother a mansion. To be able to see how he wanted to be a servant leader within his family is the key to success, because significance, once you have that, you become more successful. I asked him what his third career non-sports athlete is. And he said, I want to own a business. And so I like when kids create this vision in life and they start understanding their purpose, which is the why. This kid said he wanted to own a business because he wanted to make more money. And I said, what would you do with the money? And he said, I would take care of my family and then I would donate some to people in this city, which was Homestead, Florida. It was amazing to be able to see how we connected the dots for him within 5 minutes on how he could be a servant leader and create more significance in his life. All of this right here, winning the championships, winning the fights, it's not about the success, it's what you do with it. It's about becoming more significant in your life. At the end of the day, success sits there. When you die, success is gone. But when you are significant in life, you leave something on earth that's going to last forever. It's going to impact lives that you won't even imagine. Significance is a lifestyle. Significance is a belief system. It's a mindset. I believe every day, every person can be significant, but we've been training our kids to just be successful. Imagine a world where we could cut the bullying, the dropouts, the prison population, the gangs, the drugs, and major challenges that we have in our country and in our world by 50% by doing one thing, which is focusing on significance. Tonight I have a challenge for you. Who's up for a challenge? Anybody? I like this. Challenge is for your next 30 days that you get to, and when I say get to, you don't have to, you get to. It is your choice to invent the possibilities in your life. You get to invent the possibilities of how you can make yourself a more significant person and live a significant lifestyle. There's three main things that you could do that are very simple. And you can start today, you can start right now. The first thing is you can smile at somebody. And when you do it, you make eye contact. And have you ever seen some of those people that walk down an alleyway or walk down the shopping center and they just are glim and groom and they're just looking down, they're not having a good day. You can tell when somebody's having a good day and a bad day. Make eye contact and smile. Make their day a brighter day. The second one is your words. Words of affirmation, words of encouragement. Building somebody with your words and telling them that they look good, that they're amazing. I tell my team every day that they're amazing. And I build them every day. And the third thing is a hug. I want to build my team and my friends, and I want to show them through not just my face and my words. I want to show them through my body and show them that I care for them and I love them. And that I am going to be a significant person. You guys can email me at challenge@mylifemypower.org. Tell me your stories. We want to create this movement where we make a more significant world for our future generations. Thank you.